Om Shri Sai Ram. Today we're going to study some beautiful building blocks for your English language. We're going to start with phrasal verbs. Verbs are the action part of English vocabulary. And we add prepositions to verbs and we come up with very interesting and colorful words and descriptions. So look at the following sentences. The child took off the shirt. He's tried a shirt on, he takes off the shirt. Sounds logical, right? He's taking off his shirt. But when we go to an airport, we watch a plane take off. And so now the same words, take off, has taken on a different meaning. It means the plane has taken off from the runway, is up in the air. So notice in the second sentence, the expression took off means the plane started flying. Such expressions are called phrasal verbs, which have a specific meaning in different contexts. So in different places in your reading, you'll see that these verbs, called phrasal verbs, have different meaning. So we look at the part of the paragraph that it's located, and we see what it means. It has a nice flow to it. Many such phrasal verbs are formed when a verb is followed by a preposition. So we have a whole list of verbs: come, go, set, give, take, look, put, and then we have a bunch of words behind it, okay, adjectives behind it, and we'll see what happens. Form as many phrasal verbs as you can from the above. Use a dictionary if required. So the best friend that you have in English is your dictionary, and you can look up these words and see different meanings. A lot of words have a meaning as a noun and a meaning as a verb. So let's start. The first word we have is come. We have come in, and you can see this beautiful lady. She's saying, come into my restaurant. Come in, I'll take good care of you, like a mother. So in a horse race, when you go to the horse races or dog races, if you bet on horse number one or dog number one and it comes in first, you're very happy. If it comes in second or third, you're not quite so happy. So, and then also you can use come in when you have somebody, you're doing a play or you're doing a performance in front of your class. You say, after I acknowledge the course, you come in and you do the course. You do the talk. So come in has two different meanings. Come back. In sports, sometimes your team is losing. You're down by 20 points in your basketball game. And the coach gives you a big pep talk, you come back in the second half, and you win the game. You have a big comeback. Also, a comeback can also mean a witty remark. Somebody says something to you, and instead of getting mad or upset, you come back with a witty remark, and it diffuses the situation. It's called a comeback. Now, come down. If you lose your status, let's say you're president of India, and their time period is over. You come down from being president, now you're a past president. You've come down in status. And then if you lose your job, okay, you lost your job, you were a big shot, a big CEO of a company, or a high-paid tech person, and then you get fired. So you've come down in your job position. And it's also a feeling of disappointment. Oh, I've had a big letdown, a big come down when my girlfriend said she does not want to be my girlfriend anymore. Or I got demoted. Now, the opposite of that is come up. Something has come up at home. I cannot come to class today, sir, because something has come up. And then the teacher may ask you what has come up, but if something has happened, a death in the family, something has come up at home. And then you also say, did you ask the principal about my promotion? Did you ask something? And you'll say, no, it didn't come up. It didn't come up in the conversation. So, and we also have come off, all right? Come off, seem like or appear. You come off like a good student. You want to dress properly, you want to pay attention, you come off like a good student. Let's go to the next word. Go. This one has many meanings. Go in. If you want to make a bet on a horse race or something, you go in go into the pool and you put some money in, like in a poker game. If you go into the game, you have to put some money into the game. I'm in. I'm in the game. I want to play the game. To form a union. If you get a group of people together, you go in together and you form a union. You form a group because you want to do something nice. Go out. Everybody knows when you go to the ocean, the tide comes in and the tide goes out. So go out refers to the tide leaving. And also when we have a nice fire, okay, the fire goes out. If we don't keep putting wood in the fire will go out. Go back. A go back is a setback in time. You go back to a year before or a couple of months before. You go back in time to what was happening at that place. Also, another way to use this verb, this phrasal verb, is you can say, Jim and I, we go back in time 20 years. I used to go to high school with him. We go back a long time. Go down. Go down. A ship, when it's in the ocean and it hits an iceberg, like the Titanic, the ship went down. Even though it was supposedly invisible, it went down. The ship sinking. And recorded in history. Something, a war comes up, somebody gets assassinated, it goes down in history as a tragic event. So go down, instead of just being taken literally, is used in a historical fashion. Go up. When we build a house, what do? It goes up. The house goes up. One day you come and all of a sudden the roof is on the house. It's gone up. And then also, if it gets burnt, it goes up in flames. Go away. This is to leave a place. You leave home for a vacation. I'm going down to the Bahamas. I'm going away for a vacation. Next word is give. And we can see the nice Swami here. He's giving prasad to all of the students around. Give in. When you give in, you admit defeat. Okay, you're stronger than I am. I give in. You beat me in arm wrestling. I give in. You can also say, I had to give in, okay, as he was much stronger, and I admit the fact that he was a better arm wrestler than me. I give in. Give out. Now, when you have some money and you've gone on a trip and all the money's gone, your money has given out. You have no more money to spend. My money gave out. Give back. Workers agree when they have negotiations with big unions, they agree to give back what they've got received, for instance, some pension or something, and then the union will give them something else. So they have a give back, and then they get new benefits. And then another way to use give back is you give back the person his confidence. This lady has made a couple mistakes, did some bad reports, and then you say, don't worry, don't worry. I've seen other work you can do. I can give you back your confidence. Do another report. And when she does the report again, and it's beautiful, and you give her a good mark, you give her back her confidence. Give up. That's to admit defeat. For instance, you give up the throne. I'm the king of England, but I'm going to give up my throne to the next prince. Give away. Everybody loves a giveaway. You give away things for free. That's what a giveaway is. You give something away. Hopefully that person will return it sometime, or at least come into your shop. And then you get a present sometimes. You get a present, you get a bike wrapped up, and they wrapped it up with cloth and everything, but you can see that it's a bike, okay? So the very shape of the packaging is a giveaway. It's a giveaway. You can see what's in it even though it's wrapped up. Let's go ahead. Next word is take. Now here we have a picture of a rocket ship on a rocket, okay? And this rocket ship is taking off. It's going to go out of this world that we know. It's going to go up into space. So, as in our early example, the airplane will take off. And another thing you can do is to take off after somebody. Somebody's got your book and he's going away for vacation. So you take off after him, you run after him hastily. Give me the book back. You're going to be gone for a long time. I need that book. So you take off after him. Take in. You give shelter. Somebody comes, they need a room, and need some cover for the day, you take them in and give them shelter. Or you can be taken in. It's interesting. Sometimes people will take you in. They'll say, look, if you do this for me, I'll do this. They take you in, but it's not a good term. They take you in to do something that they want to do, not something that you want to do. You're taken in. Also, you can use take in to take in the sights. We go to a new place on our vacation. We go to a new part of India. We go to the Himalayas, and we take in all of these beautiful mountains. We take in the refreshing air. We take in the water. Now, take out, okay? Take out, we all have takeouts, right? We go to a nice restaurant. We said, I can't eat all this food. I want to take it out. Give me a takeout. So they'll give you a bag, and you can take the food to eat somewhere else. Also, when you play the game of bridge, there's a maneuver in bridge called the takeout. Take back. Take back is a retraction. I take back what I said about you. You're not really a B student, you're an A student. I take it back, you're an A student. So, or you can take something back to the shop that your mother bought for you, but it doesn't fit. You take back some item in a shop. And then you can also take back something you said about somebody. I didn't mean what I said yesterday when I talked about you. I take it back. Please forgive me. Take over. Now, if you have a company and you own some shares of stock and you talk to the other stockholders, you take over the company. You get more than 50%, you take over the reins of the company. Take down. In wrestling, there's two wrestlers, okay? And the object is to take the wrestler down and pin him. So takedown is a wrestling maneuver. Or you can take down a website. You got a website on your internet, and it's fulfilled its mission, so you take down the website. Take up. Now this is interesting, because all of us as students, we want to take up new interest. We learn something new. I want to take up astrology. I want to take up yoga. I want to take up all of these new things. And another thing you use take up for is please, sir, or please, my friend, don't talk to me anymore. You're taking up too much of my time. My time is very valuable. If we're talking about God or something, that's fine. But these other things, please don't take up my time. And then there's take away. Take away, we can take away food. We'll get a takeaway. How about a takeaway in mathematics? Okay? We have 100, we take away 40, we have 60 left. We take away. And then one clever professor did a long talk, and he said, look, the key takeaway in this talk is this point. So he used a clever word, and after the whole talk for 1 hour, we take away at least 1 point, and he gives us this 1 point. Now let's go to look. Look in. Look in is a chance to succeed at something. I'm going to look into becoming an English professor. I love English. It's the number 2 language after Sanskrit, and I'm going to become a professor. For the next 20 years, I'll be teaching people about all these spiritual ideas, and I can convey it in English because most people on the planet are speaking some English now. So it's a chance to succeed at something. I'm going to look into a new job, a new career. Look out. Look out is a place you climb up to a high ladder or a high point, and you look out and you can see who's coming. It's called the lookout, place to keep watch. Look back, that's an option in finance. You get a look back. You look back what happened 10 years ago. This is what the company did. There's these nice charts of movements in stocks, and sometimes if you look back, you can see what something had done before under certain circumstances, and they probably will do it again. It's called a look back. Look over. We go to buy a new bicycle, maybe an e-bike. We want to get an e-bike, electric bike, okay? So we look it over, and we see a bunch of bikes, so we give each one a quick look over, all right? And the one you really want, you give them a closer look over. Look down. Look down is when you see somebody and think, oh, well, I'm already in second year PUC. You guys are just in first year PUC. Okay, I've already done those English courses. I've already done those math courses. You look down a little bit because you have more education. It's you think that you're a little bit more important than someone. Or you can look down on somebody that's not dressed properly. It's looking at the outside and trying to judge the inside. Not a good quality. So we should look for. We look for something. Okay, we hope to get something. We hope to get something you want. We look for a job. Wow, I've just graduated. I need a job. I have to support my family. My father's passed away. I need a good job. So you look for a job. You want to get something. Look away. Look away. You look away from somebody's face. You're looking at them and you look away. Look into. This is to discover the facts. I'm going to look into what it takes to be in medical school. I'm going to look what it takes to get into Baba's PUC school. I'm going to look into it. So you're going to discover facts. And I'm going to look into why that is happening. Why is this boy leaving every morning in the middle of a class? I'm going to look into that if I'm the teacher. He gets up in the middle of class. I have to talk to him and look into it. Next word is put. So we can use many adjectives on put. Put off. Let's face it, we all put off studying sometimes, right? We're having a little extra dessert. I'll put off studying for 20 minutes. So we put a delay in doing something. Put in. Put in is an act of inserting a sleeve into a dress or putting a ball into a scrum or onto a field. We put in the ball so it can be played. Put out. When we're playing baseball and a runner's trying to stretch a double into a triple, okay, we grab the ball and we tag him as he's running to third base. We put that runner out. Put back. When we're playing basketball, we bounce the ball off the backboard and then go in for the layup. It's called a put back. Put down. This is a remark made to humiliate somebody. Oh, you can never play basketball. You're putting him down just because he has one leg shorter than the other. You don't want to put people down. You want to bring them up if you can. We don't want to put down anybody. Put up. Now we're going to lodge somebody. I'm going to put you up for as long as you want. You come and visit me at Sai Baba's ashram, I will put you up. I will take care of you. And then you can also put up somebody to do something. You could put somebody up to play a trick. Say, when he comes in, just pretend you don't see him. You put somebody up to a trick. It's called put up also. Next word is set. This is a beautiful word, beautiful verb. Set off. It's an amount. We do accounting. Everybody's taken accounting courses, a little basic accounting. We set off one amount with another amount. He's paid this amount of money, so we'll set that off against the amount that he's owed. It's also a step of reduction. When you have a set off, you set off a certain area. Okay, it's set off that you can't build in this area. Set in, you insert a specialty. You put in a sleeve. You set a diamond into a jewel. You set in to a jewel to make it more beautiful. A setback is a reversal or check in progress. Wow, I was going ahead. I was doing so well, and then all of a sudden I had a big setback when I got sick. I had a very bad cold. I was set back in my study schedule. A setback on a wall. Sometimes you have to have a setback of 2 or 3 feet from the edge of your property. It's called a setback. Set down is a reproof that has a humbling effect. You set down somebody. You put them in their place. Set up. Now we have here a picture of a setup. You can see we have a beautiful table. The ocean is there. The sky is there. The flowers are there. They've set up this environment. It looks like a wedding reception. Okay? They have all the elements. The sun is shining. We have fire, earth, air, and water. And it's a beautiful setup for a function. Are you happy with the teaching setup that they have provided for you? Sometimes you'll go into a new school or a classroom and they've set things up. And the teacher or the principal will ask you, are you happy with the way things are set up? And as we explained, the setup here is for a beautiful wedding reception. And so all things are there, set up in a beautiful way. So let's go ahead, now that we've discussed many of these phrasal verbs, let's do an exercise to see what we've learned, okay? So we have here 18 different phrasal verbs. And then we'll ask certain questions and we'll pick out the phrasal verb that fits into the situation. So to begin with, we have don't lose hopes, your spirit. So what do we want to do? We want to raise our spirit. So we look through all of the words: give off, get through, look into, go into, come up, make up, run up. And then we get to put up, look through, and we get to keep up. So don't lose hopes. Keep up your spirit. Keep up the spirit. It fits in perfectly. Our spirit has to go up. It has to go up towards God. It has to go up towards joy. So this word keep up fits in perfectly there. Now, we have a picture here of two friends. And friends are friends, and sometimes they'll bump into each other and they have a little quarrel. So they had a little quarrel. They made up after a brief quarrel. So they're friends now. So we look through our phrasal verbs and which one comes up. We have give off, go into, look into, come off, made up. So they had a quarrel and they made up. So they don't make each other, but they made up the differences that they had with each other. So the answer would be made up. Two friends made up their difference. And we have the right word, don't lose hope, keep up your spirits. Let's go to the third one. He has is examination. Sometimes we have a big examination, okay? We've studied all year, we've worked very hard, and it's a tough exam, and we know it's going to be tough. And so we study extra, we pray, we bring our best pen, and we get through the examination. So we look at the words there. We have get through, okay, that's present tense, but he has already taken the examination. So he got through his examination. And that's the proper phrasal verb to use. He's got through. Let's check it. He has got through his examination. He's so happy. Let's go ahead. Number 4, the long lost friend. Something at my sister's wedding. You go to a wedding, you haven't seen this friend in many years, and all of a sudden, what happens? He turns up, okay? So we look at the phrasal verbs, we look at what they are, and we see, is there something like turn up? Yes, he turned up. So he was already at the wedding, he turned up. Turned up is the proper tense to use. He turned up at my sister's wedding. And you didn't turn him over, but you saw him. And it's a clever way to say that you saw your friend again. The businessman, debt after suffering heavy losses. So something happened to his business. And it's something to do with debt, all right? So you look at these phrasal verbs, and you see give off, go into, look into, come down, made up, run into. Ooh, he ran into debt, okay? So this phrasal verb works perfectly. My businessman ran into debt after heavy losses. So he didn't actually run towards the debt, okay? But the debt was there, and that's what happened to him. And that's the phrasal verb that we use. And when you use these phrasal verbs, people understand and they appreciate it. Next one is the price of gold has, and the price at this time was going lower, okay? So it's going somewhere. So we look at the phrasal verbs and we see take down, give up, come off, come up, come down, okay? So we see that the price has come down, and while the physical gold didn't come down, the price had come down. So we understand they're talking about price. Let's see if we're right. My friend turned up at the wedding. He's showed up, okay? And he ran into debt, the correct answer. And the price of gold has come down. All correct. Let's go, one young boy was smoking, and he found out from all his elders and stuff, it's not the right thing to do. It's very bad for health. So he finally gave up smoking. So in the past tense, he has, and what do we put in there? We look at our words, give up, okay? Is the right word, but we have to use the right tense. He has given up smoking. And then the firefighters came just in time To do what? What do firefighters do? They put out the fire before it burns the whole place. Let's see if we're right. He has given up smoking, and the firefighters came just in time to put out the fire. Okay, so the fire is no longer burning. Let's go to some more. The examinations had to be something owing to the elections or owing to the virus. Sometimes these things have to be put off. So we look at our words, they have to be delayed. We don't have delay there, but we have the word give off, put off, come off, make off, set off, come up, put out, put off. So we're going to use put off. The examinations had to be put off owing to the elections. Number 10, they into a new business. So somehow they started a new business. The word started is not there, but the word get into, go into, got into is there. So the correct word would be got into. Let's see. They got into a new business. And then number 11, the committee has been, now this question has two of these phrasal verbs. Very clever. A committee has been organized, set up to do what? To look into the problem. All right? So we see from our phrasal verbs, we have the committee has been turned up, set up. We see the word set up. To, what does it do? It looks into. On the first line, you can see look into. Is that correct? Yes, the committee has been set up to look into the problem. And then our last one is a bomb in a street, okay? Things happen in crowded streets. So a bomb in a crowded street. We have to fill in the phrasal verb. So what happens with a bomb? A bomb goes off, right? Or it went off because it's past tense. So we look at our list and we see went off. Does it fit in? A bomb went off in the crowded street. Now, we're armed now with phrasal verbs. We can say a lot of things and put in a lot of words and describe a lot of action. Now, over and above phrasal verbs are idioms and phrases. English is a fantastic language. They have clever things to say, and it makes everybody feel good. An idiom may be defined as an expression peculiar to a language. It's a special phrase whose total meaning is different from the individual words in the phrase. It's very clever, and the way we learn these things is by reading. We have to read many books, many articles, talk to people, and then we pick up these idioms and phrases. Idiomatic language is expressive. It's expressive and it's apt. It fits into the situation. It is both attractive and useful. It not only emphasizes what we want to say, but it also impresses the listener and the reader. It makes everybody happy. That's what's nice about English idioms. Example. Okay, we have a fish here, a big fish, okay, and he's jumped out of the water. But he doesn't want to stay out of the water. We've all seen fish that are caught, okay, and they're flopping around outside. They want to get back in the water because they can't breathe normal air like we breathe. They can only breathe through the water, through their gills. So here's a fish out of water. So the example we have, she felt like a fish out of water in sophisticated company. Expensive company where everybody's putting on airs of having money and being very sophisticated. And she was a common lady and she felt very uncomfortable. She felt uncomfortable in sophisticated company. But if you say she felt like a fish out of water, it's very clever and makes a humorous turn to it. Number 2, Abby passed the exam with flying colors. He aced this exam. He's in the high 90s, okay? And he knew that he passed it with very high grades. And he was very happy. Flying colors. He's waving the flag. Oh, Mom, Dad, I got some great marks on this test. Number 3 is Pooja was on cloud 9 when she was promoted. She got a big raise in her company and a big responsibility increase. And she was on cloud 9. She was floating up here in the clouds, just under the moon. She felt so high. She goes, wow, finally my work is appreciated. And she was very happy. And then we go, Sarah is the apple of her father's eye. Sometimes a parent really loves their child and they will do anything for them. And anything the child does, the parent is super happy. And so she's the apple of her father's eye, and he loves her more than anything. So, the idiom in the first sentence is apt and self-explanatory. It makes a deeper impression than the explanation in the second one. So you can see all of these examples, it makes a bigger impact on the reader. So now we know what idioms are. Let's go and look at some of them. Read the examples of the idioms given below. Okay. Keep your shirt on. All right. Control your temperature. Control your temper and your temperature. Keep your shirt on. Don't be excited. Okay. To be under one's thumb. You know, sometimes your father or your mother keep you under their thumb, under complete control. To have a swollen head. Sometimes you do really well in a race, or you hit a sixer or 3 sixers in a game, and your head gets a little swollen. You have a little bit of ego. It's to admire oneself greatly, is to have a swollen head. To blow one's own trumpet. You're talking about yourself. You're blowing your own trumpet. It's to praise yourself. To be hand in glove with, to be in trouble, or to engage in wrongdoing is what it means. You're hand in glove with somebody and the two of you are doing something that's not proper. To be in the soup. You're in hot soup, okay? It's not comfortable. You're in trouble. Know A to Z, A to Z of any subject. You know everything about mathematics. You know everything about calculus. You can help all of your fellow students in calculus. Go on a wild goose chase. It's to be part of a vague activity. You're not knowing where you're going. The wild goose is running around, it's flying every which way, and you don't know what you're doing. Leave no stone unturned. Sometimes you have to examine something. For instance, a student who can't learn very well has to go to a special school. So their parents have to leave no stone unturned to find the right school, to explore every alternative. So the exercises. Use the correct form of the idioms to complete the sentences. Okay, so we have a young man here and he's got his shirt on, all right? But it's difficult to have this shirt on when he keeps bragging about himself. He keeps arguing with you and bragging and arguing. So it's difficult when Ravi keeps arguing. Keep your shirt on. All this praise about her intelligence has given Usha such a big head, right? Such an ego that she can't talk to anybody without showing off. So we go to our list and we see a swollen head. She's talking about herself. Number 3, you must take Abel's advice because he knows everything. He knows everything about calculus. He knows everything about the stock market. Let's see if that's right. Difficult to keep one's shirt on. She has a swollen head. She has a lot of ego. He knows A to Z about the share market. Last one, don't believe this man. He is something with the thief, okay? He's working with the thief, all right? And that's what they say, hand in glove. Let's see. Don't believe this man. He is hand in glove with the thief. They're working together. Let's go ahead. Number 5. I had warned them that there would be no good end to the project. All right? It was a wild goose chase because the project was never organized properly. They were just chasing a wild goose. You can see the wild goose here, okay? It lands, it flies, it goes anywhere it wants to. It doesn't even go with the rest of the geese. You can't chase this wild goose. Number 6, the parents, okay, looked for a position for their child, all right? And they have all these stones here, and they looked under every stone. They checked out every school. They checked out every person that could do personal home training. They wanted to get their son educated, but he had a learning problem. So they left no stone unturned. Let's see. It was a wild goose chase, and they left no stone to enable their disabled child to get a good education. Number 7, it's difficult to listen to Don Gonzalo blow his own horn. He's talking about himself all the time. He's bragging about how much property he has, how many pretty women he's seen, all of these things. Who wants to listen to that? That's all in the past. He's blowing his own horn. And number 8, if you break the school rules, you land yourself where? In hot soup. Not nice. You land yourself in a poor position. Let's see. Don Gonzalo, he blows his own horn. You break the school rules, you land yourself in the soup. Now we have one more exercise. Match the idioms in section A with the meanings in section B. This exercise wants to see how sharp you are on defining these different idioms. So the first one is to look something up. Okay? So we have these choices. And we have to admire, not correct. To look with some scorn, no. To look something up, to search for information. That's exactly what looking something up means. So let's go. To look something up, C is the right answer, to search for information. To put off someone, to put off someone, to look up to admire. When you look up to somebody, you admire them. So the correct answer to look up to is to admire. And then we have to look down at. To look down at is to look with scorn. You look down at somebody because they haven't taken as many courses as you have. They can't hit the ball as well as you have. You look down, not with scorn. It's not nice to do that. But sometimes people do that. They look down at people. To let off. To let off is to be allowed to go free. Sometimes you'll commit a crime. You'll park your bike in a place that shouldn't be parked, your motorcycle, and the police is going to give you a ticket, and then he says, go away, and he just lets you off. So the correct answer is G, to be let off. To hold up, okay? To hold up is to stop others from going ahead. To hold up, stop others from going ahead. To knock down is to knock down, to break up. You're knocking something down, you're breaking something up. Let's go to the rest of the idioms. To look forward to, I'm looking forward to going on vacation. So the correct answer to that would be to await eagerly. Look forward to affect, to irritate. To await eagerly. To put off someone. To put off someone is L. To put off someone. To be going on. To going on. I'm putting you off. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it next week. We're going to put them off. Okay. To put up with somebody. Okay. To put up with somebody means I'm going to put up with you even though you don't know anything, you're not helping me out. What does that mean? It means you're going to tolerate this person. You're going to say, okay, I'm putting up with you. Even though you don't know anything about computers, we're still going to do this job. How about to see red? Everybody knows what that means. You get angry, right? So to see red is to be very angry. You're like a bull. You're seeing red at everything. Okay, to be in full swing. Okay, to be in full swing is to be going on. I'm working with other people, I'm going ahead. To get in one's way, okay? To get in one's way is the right word, the right one here is to obstruct others from work. This one. You're getting in somebody else's way. So the last one is to tell upon. So we have all of these here, and so the correct answer would be to tell upon. J, okay, to affect. You have an effect. When you tell upon somebody, you affect what they're doing. So these are the idioms, and this is the matchup that we have. And we can use these idioms now to use beautiful English language, okay, to express beautiful stories. And we can take away here the fact that English is used in many different ways, and many different phrases and idioms are used, and we have to read to see how these are used properly. And we use them in a straight line. We want to go right ahead to talking about these idioms. And the takeaway we have here from this whole idioms and from all of these phrasal verbs is that we have a default program, okay? A default program, as you know in computers, you get done with your regular program, you sweep away the excess programs, and you go into a default. And this takes over no matter what happens with your computer, you're set with the default program. And this is what we want to do as students. We want to know English really well and use these idioms and phrasal verbs when we can, and we default to the actual meaning of the words. That's the default. But the higher actions is to use the idioms as they're created. And then we look up, and you can see the pictures of the student looking up, the man looking up, this other man contemplating on God, and even the kitty cat. What is he doing? He's looking up. He's looking up to higher truths. He's looking up towards the divine principle. We want to express this divine principle with the highest idioms and the most beautiful English language. Thank you for your kind attention, and we'll keep up our spirits, and we'll look up to the nice divine usage of all these idioms and phrases. Om Shri Sai Ram.